11th and 12th grade circle basics review for the test. First thing, you're going to have a large circle. O is the center, and you're going to identify all the different shapes that are on here. So you can go down the list and find the thing, but it might be easier just to say, okay, I'm looking at BC, and I'm looking at that section right between B and C. So that is, I was trying to do a highlight there. Okay, B to C, right there. So that's an arc. Anything that's curved is going to be an arc. And if it's less than halfway around the circle, that is a minor arc. So that would be minor arc, or number 1. All right, number 2, angle BEA. So make sure you're paying attention to your symbols. BEA, B to E to A, is one of our types of angles. You notice the corner, the main corner, the vertex, is on the edge of the circle, on the rim right there. So that's what's called an inscribed angle. Angle BEA is inscribed. Okay, as opposed to if we drop down here, BOA, the corner of that angle is at the center. So that is a central angle for BOA. Line EA. So now we've got to be careful here. Line EA. Now, since it did say line, that means it's the thing that keeps on going inside. And it has gone through the circle and it's on the outside of the circle. So when it's both, it is a secant. Secant for EA. Alright, line DC is not going inside at all, so that is a tangent. Okay, just hitting it at one point. And segment EA. So we had line EA, now we just got segment EA. So that means start and stop at E and A. It's not going outside since it just said segment EA. And so that's not a secant anymore. The secant goes inside and outside with the line. We'll keep on going. So EA is just a chord. Okay? A chord can start on, has to start on the edge and stop on the edge. That's another chord. The diameter is also a chord right there, starting on the edge, stopping on the edge. All those are chords. All right. Arc CEB. So you have to go in order. C through the E, keep on the curve, don't go through the middle. EB. CEB is more than halfway around, so that is a major arc. All right. And OE, that is a radius. Okay. And if you had let's say CA, that's the diameter, or EB, that's the diameter. They go through the middle, all the way across through the middle. And then one I don't think I put on here. How about CBA, arc CBA? Now, you might want to say, since it's got 3 letters, that it's major, but is it more than 180? No. Is it less than 180? No, it's exactly 180 when it hits that diameter. So that is a semicircle. So be careful and watch for those as well. Okay. All right. So using the drawing below, you're going to have to fill in your own angle, and then you're going to answer some special questions over to the side about them. So, find my paper. Filling in, notice it says angle, it didn't say the arc. Angle KOL is 45, so 45 in right there. So that's a central angle. Stop and think. Here's my angle. Use your angle legs to highlight it. The central angles are equal to their arc. I'll have the formulas on the board for you, so it shouldn't be a big deal. So if that's the central, it's going to equal the arc, so I'm going to put 45 out here. I see this box, which a box means 90 degrees, right angle, and it's at the center, and so it's going to equal its arc. So that's another 90. So now I need to use some other features about the circle there is a diameter. The diameter is always going to be a friend and help you find where half of the problem is. So when I see a diameter, I'm going to put my angle leg on there and think this half has to add up to 180. So 180 subtract 45 is going to give me 135 right here. And the same thing on the bottom. This bottom half makes 180. So I'll have 180 minus my 90, and it'll give me 90 right here. So pretty much now I have all my angles and arcs. Well, I don't have this one. Let's see. This was a central angle right here. Opens up to that 135, so it'll be 135. And the 90 opens up to that 90. So central angles equal to their arc. Everything's at the center. And when we get over here, it's not at the center, but these are at the center. So, start back to your problem. On the number 7, it says angle KON. So look at it. K, let's find a good color here. From K to O to N. That's that angle we just filled in. And so that was 135. Alright, and then clean that off a little bit. Next, arc KL. KL, we just found that at the beginning. So that's 45 in between K and L. And KNM. K through N all the way around to M. KNM, the arc, that big arc. Just add up whatever's inside of there. I got 135 and I got a 90. I am not looking at the angles. I'm just looking at the arcs inside. This is one big arc, so I'm just putting those two arcs together. So that's 225. KNM 225. Okay. Alright. Next, we've got the one like we did in class. Just like it, same drawing, everything. You're given two numbers that you're going to have to fill in. Angle E is 55 degrees, and angle D is 45. So the easiest thing to do, old school stuff here, 180 minus 55 minus your 45 will give us 80 when left over for angle F. So that's one of your questions right there. What is angle F? That's 80. Now you've got to go find the arcs. And two of them are going to be, they're all pretty easy now because you found the other part. So, just take it piece by piece. ED, that arc, it may be easier to focus on the angle instead of an arc. So like if I look at 55, does 55 open up to ED? No. Does F open up to ED? Yes. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at. Angle F is 80. This is on the edge of the circle, so that is an inscribed. Inscribed is when the angle equals half the arc. But if you think about it, here's the angle right here in this little corner, but what's happening as it comes out here, it's getting bigger and bigger. So that's when you say times 2. It still works out to make it half the arc, but it's times 2. So that would be 160. So is 80, the angle, half of the arc, 160? Yeah. So you have to think of it like that. So out there, ED is 160. And then looking for DE, arc DE. It says segment, but it should say arc. No, I'm on the wrong one. That was it. Okay, so you're good. As long as you found the F earlier, and that's all I asked you for. So I went with that. The angle is half the arc. This is the little corner, so it should be smaller. Bigger, 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 times 2 bigger. Alright, next, this is where we're looking for DE. So we're looking for this missing piece. Now right off the bat, this is one of those that either it matches the thing. I think we need to skip this one. Yeah, we need to skip this one. This is not going to be on the test. This is on the next test, I think. All right, so moving on. Next type, we're going to have interior. When I see the X, not the variable X, but the two chords crossing and making a vertical set, then this is not at the center. Okay, it's not on the edge. X is just somewhere on the interior. So I gave you a little formula for interior angles, and that is arc plus, well, ARC plus the vertical arc all over 2. Sorry about the handwriting. All right, so thinking about that formula, all I've got to do when I see this type is I don't just think about angle X, I think about the vertical that X is involved in right there. So there's the vertical, and we know this would match X. These two would match, but their arcs don't match, and so that's why you have to have that formula. All you're doing is saying X's arc is 45, the vertical arc is 65, we're taking an average of the two. So add them together and divide by 2, and you're going to end up with 55. Okay, interior angles. They're not at the center, they're not on the edge. All right, number 14, this is obviously, angle A is an exterior angle, it's on the outside. So you need the two arcs that are inside of this angle. I got a 10, but I don't know this big one out here. The formula is the big one minus the small one divided by 2 to get your angle. So I got to figure out what this big one's going to be. What is that right there telling us? That's your diameter. That line, that dot is the center, so this is the diameter, and the diameter is always showing you where 180 degrees is. So if I have 140 up here on top, I need another 40 right here for that arc that was missing. 180 minus 140. So now go back and look at your angle. You're only looking at angle A. It's got a 40 for the big one. It's got 10 for the little one. Divided by 2 and you get 15. Angle A is 15 degrees. Alright, now this last one is a combo, and I'm going to give you 6 questions off of it. So pay close attention to what you're looking for. We have one number given to us, but that may be all we need. Let's just see. We know that if we have 35 right here, that seems to go with D, opening up to it. D is where? At the center. So this is a 35-degree angle right here at the center. You also have your diameters, and that would be a better place to start right there. The diameter makes 180, just like we did on that last problem. 180 minus 35 gives me 145 right here for this arc. So right in here from W to Z is 145. Alright, then I can say, hey, you see that 35? It's vertical. That's a perfect vertical right there. The angle matches, not the arc, but the angle will match automatic when you got verticals. Okay, and then what type of angle? Another 35 and 35. So 145, same thing happening. You got another diameter. Diameter right here. This diameter. When you do that, put your pencil on it, say, okay, everything right there makes 180. And so I need another 145 out here. 35 subtracted from 180 gave me 145. So now we're ready to start answering questions. How big is arc XY? That's what we just found, 145. How big is YWZ? WZ is over here, 145. Okay. They might not match just like that on the test, just depends on the pieces. Alright, Angle A, a little tricky here. It's better, instead of going A, B, C, D, let's start with the basics. Central, then the inscribed, then the interior and exterior. Okay. So central, we got D at the center. D is at the center, and O is the center point, so don't worry about O. Angle D is the one we got to find, and its central angles are equal to the arc. These formulas will be on the board, so D is going to be 35. Next, we've got inscribed there on the edge. So if I look at A, the corner of A, it's on the edge, corner of B is on the edge, corner of C. Let's do the easy ones first. If we're looking at angle C and angle B, they're easier to look at. So C is right here. What is the arc it's opening up to? 35. And this one works out. C is going to end up being a decimal on this one. But I don't think I put any decimals on the test. But it could be. You know, there's no, you could have that on ACT or something. Half of 35. All right, same thing happening with B. Angle B is opening up this way. So the arc inside of B, just the arc, I'm not worried about angles, just the curve. 35, B is on the edge, so you got to take half. So B is 17.5. And that looks like all of them. I gave you one of each type. So good luck. Hopefully you studied.